All right, folks, welcome to our Wednesday night broadcast of the IWM Cup Series. Tonight, we are at Nashville Superspeedway for the Cracker Barrel 200. I'm Rick Sousa in the booth with Noah Evans. Noah, well, it's good to be back. We had some technical difficulties with YouTube and our broadcast system last week, and I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, it's certainly good to be back. Ready to go back to the concrete here at Nashville Superspeedway. This is such a fun and unique racetrack. There really isn't any other place like it. It's so much fun to race, to watch races here. This track hasn't been raced on by the Cup Series up until I believe 2021, and it's put on some great finishes. So last year I think it was 5 or 6 overtime finishes that led to Joey Logano winning, had a near three wide finish this past week with Denny Hamlin and the rest of the JGR team. So really going to be a fun race here tonight. Nashville always puts on a good show. Excited to see what these guys can do.
Yeah, absolutely. This is I think this is the largest all concrete surface. We have, Dover was just over a mile, Monster Mile, but this is 1.33, so it should be very interesting.
Gonna have some fun here. Can't wait.
You have just a couple minutes left of practice, so let's cover a couple of things. Let's look at the current standings for these guys.
Yeah, so Kyle Smalley, really no surprise there. He's been the guy to beat all season long. But that gap between him and Matthew David Wood has shrunk tremendously. Smalley at one point had almost an 87-point lead. He's knocked that down to 37 points. Matthew David Wood has had some great wins over the past couple of weeks. Won at Watkins Glen as well, put on a good show there. It's between these two guys here. You can see the gap to third, 126 points between Thomas and Smalley here. 3, 5, and 2 wins between Smalley, Wood, and Thomas. We've only had one other winner, and that's Andrew Pileshi, who I believe he won it, may have been Daytona, I believe, where Pileshi got his win. But really a competitive top 5 here. Looking down into 16th, you see there 17th and 18th. That's a battle for the last playoff spot between Yarnell, Allison, and Call, but there's still a long way to go to decide who makes it into the chase.
Yeah, speaking of that, looking at the schedule, you can now see the chase now is on our calendar. So we're here at that Cracker Barrel 200, June 3rd, but then next week we'll be at Michigan. Then we've got Pocono. Then we're winding down. We've got really just a handful of maybe a couple handfuls of races left. That's it.
Yeah, and all of these races right here are going to be really fun to watch. You have North Wilkesboro. You have the Indianapolis, New Hampshire, Darlington. A lot of really fun racetracks here, but the race before the chase is the one we need to be watching, and that's the Coke 0200 at Daytona. That track can always produce some new first-time winners, especially that specific race going into the chase. It's going to be a lot of fun here down to the wire.
Absolutely. All right, so we just got about 30 seconds or so left, and then we'll head to qualifying, and then that green flag will fly. We'll see who's on top of the board. Right now, when we just look at the results so far, let's look at the best times. So far, we're seeing a few different names up on the top of the board. Sammy Harrell's up there. We've got Michael Anthony. I haven't seen Michael Anthony competitive in a while. In fact, he's been, as I recall, he's been kind of sidelined with some computer issues, and he's finally back.
Yeah, what an interesting top 10 this is right here. Sammy Harrell, Jared Wishon, Ryan Pittman in the 6th place spot, Chuck Van Scoit, Calvin Allison, really mixed up top 10 here. But I'll tell you one thing, this is a much-needed run for Sammy Harrell. If he can pull this one off here and hopefully grab pole and stick with it. He's had a rough couple of races over the last stretch, and he's looking to pull off a good top 10, top 5 finish tonight here at Nashville.
All right, qualifying is underway. We're reaching out to see who's on track.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the last race for the in-season tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that settled at Charlotte?
No, that's a very good question. We'll have to bring that up. I'll look for that graphic as well, because that may be something we did not update. So let's double check that. You're right. We this race here, we've got it's down to the final four.
So those final four drivers we're looking at here, it's Kyle Smalley will be matched up with Calvin Allison, and Jared Wishon with the Cinderella story in this lineup here. Sammy Harrell, who defeated Matthew David Wood in round one, a huge upset for him. So keep an eye on these four drivers here. Wish we had a way to highlight them. Smalley, Allison, Wishon, and Harrell are your four going for that in-season tournament to go to the final two.
Okay, I do have the graphic now. Absolutely. All right, while Matthew Wood is finishing up in his qualifying, let's take a look at that tournament of information. Right now, there's Kyle Smalley fought his way all the way from he was right on the top with ranked number 1 and finds himself all the way. But everybody else, Allison, Harrell, and Wishon, really kind of like dark horses, specifically Allison and Harrell.
Yeah, definitely going to be watching those two here, Wishon and Harrell. That's going to be a really fun battle to watch between these two guys. You can really find them close together in these races. Smalley and Allison, we saw a little bit of them fighting at Watkins Glen before Allison had a bad pit stop and had to fight his way back up through the field. So this is going to be a fun battle to watch between these guys. Take a look at the pole times right now in qualifying. We still are waiting on a couple cars to qualify, so nothing's official just yet. But Chuck Van Scoik has put himself on pole position right now with a 29.677. And it's gearing up to be really interesting starting lineup here. Drivers yet to qualify that are notable. Walker Thomas, your third place point standings, has not qualified yet. Justin Lewis, Sammy Harrell have not qualified. Smalley has not qualified yet. So we're still waiting on a couple right now. Wishing to provisional pole as well. This is going to be really fun qualifying session here. I feel like this starting lineup here is going to look really different from what we've seen in the last couple of weeks. This track really likes to throw some monkey wrenches in for everybody.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some different names up on that top 10. We'll see how it all plays out. Looking around to see who else is out there qualifying.
There's Justin Lewis in the number 7 machine. You got Sammy Harrell. Keep an eye out on that 43 machine tonight.
He's in a different paint scheme tonight as well.
Yeah, it reminded me of, I thought it was an East Carolina scheme at first, but looks like it's a military tribute scheme for the number 43 there. If you've looked around, I've seen a couple cars as well with some tribute schemes to some artists. I've seen Shinedown, Ella Langley, Sabrina Carpenter. There's been a couple of them out here that are artist tributes. I mean, we are in the Music City after all.
Absolutely.
There's Berto Ramirez. He will go 21st. Still a couple cars left to go here.
Yeah, there's just about 30 seconds left. Yeah.
There's Harrell. I don't believe he's gotten, this will be more than likely his only lap he gets to complete here. And he will go to the
27th. He's not totally in the back, but he's...
long way to go for sure. And he's got a fight with Jared Wishon, who is right now on pole position.
Crazy. There are a number of new drivers this week that we're seeing, and that is the end of qualifying. All right, we'll bring you that starting grid once we get all set up. Yeah, the drivers are shaking off their qualifying. Looking for Decent shot. Okay. All right, so qualifying is over. We have a grid. Let's go ahead and bring that up.
All right, starting on pole position in the number 17 machine, it's Jared Wishon. First pole position of the year to his outside, it's Kyle Smalley in the 51. Row number 2 is Chuck Van Scoyk in the 23 machine. It's Matthew David Wood to his outside. Row number 3 is going to be Zach Lindgren and Walker Thomas, looking for his third win of the season. Row number 4 is Casey Herschel and Michael Anthony. Great effort for Casey Herschel this week. And rounding out the top 10 is Andrew Pileshi and Aiden Kirker in the 39.
All right, in row 6, you've got Ty Bostic and Brian Jones. Row 7 brings us Jeremy Brown and Aiden Lucas. In row 8, you've got Nathan Yarnell and Ty Leclerc. In row 9, Maxwell Caldwell and Calvin Allison. And in row 10, you've got Aaron Jackson and Jordan Weaver.
Row number 11 is going to be Roberto Ramirez and Justin Lewis. Row number 12 is Maurice Burnett in the 8 machine and Christoph Hall. Row number 13, Cody Sturgill and J.R. Houston. Row 14 is Sammy Harrell and John Ledger. And row 15, rounding out the top 30, is Bud Shearer and Todd Merkel.
All right, in row 16, you've got Spencer Burton and Ryan Pittman. And in row 17, you've got David Watts. That wraps up our field and the starting grid. And now as our drivers are making their way out onto the track.
And I believe one of those drivers that you mentioned earlier was a new driver as of right now is to the series is Spencer Burton in the number 77.
Yep, we got Spencer Burton. I think there are a few other new names as well. I think Tyler Clerk is also new. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else out there that is new for the season. I think that's it. Taunton, Massachusetts. We're going to have a talk with Ty. I grew up about 20 minutes outside of that location.
Yeah, Ty was actually, looking back through the standings, Ty finished third at Talladega April 29th. So he has run this series before. And we are green in the Music City in an interesting front row of paint schemes here. Jared Wishon in the Sabrina Carpenter paint scheme and Kyle Smalley in the Ella Langley number 51 machine as we make our way down the back straightaway here at Nashville, side by side for the lead. And Wishon looks down to the inside. That's the one thing about Nashville. There are so many grooves here to run. It just depends on where everybody is comfortable. That lane will rubber up. We saw it was the inside this past weekend in the Cup Series when Denny Hamlin took the lead in just a slingshot maneuver to grab the lead. And it looks like that inside line starting to come in just a little bit.
Yeah, solid racing amongst these three. Smalley, Wishon, and Matthew Wood got a little bit of a gap amongst themselves by a car length or two over third, fourth, and fifth.
Next car there is Zach Lindgren in the number 85 Shinedown machine, another Music City car as we keep an eye on that 85 trying to go for the lead. And this is one of the hardest Smalley has had to fight early on this season. He gets the lead from Wishon. Drops back just a little bit there. You can see both these guys. Into the wall goes the 51. A rare mistake from Kyle Smalley.
He hangs on to it, drops right down to that inside groove. Big battle right there for third as Matthew Wood finds himself with Zach Lindgren on his bumper.
Yeah, that is a very angry group of cars right behind him. That's Chuck Van Scoyk rounding out the top 5 there. You have Walker Thomas, your third place in points car, and Casey Herschel. A great run for that number 49 machine. A really good-looking number 49 machine at that. Still has the red, white, and blue colors from Charlotte. But overall, right now, it is Smalley in the lead. He's got a decent gap there to second. And he's looking at about right now a 0.4 of a second lead. We're just on lap 5.
All right, stage break looking around lap 45. We haven't talked about any of those things. While they're racing here, let's go ahead and bring up a little bit of what's just happening here. We're so busy.
Yeah, so 3 sets of tires. This concrete's going to eat your tires up, so you've got to really be conservative with what you have there. Way less than what these guys are usually running. Like you said, lap 45 is going to be our stage break today. Cool track, actually. 74 degrees here in Nashville, but an 80-degree track temperature. This is one of the coolest races we've run so far this season.
Absolutely. So stage break at 45. I'm going to verify that just to be sure with admin.
The keys of the races as well, like we just talked about, qualifying. It means so much in the series. You've got to be able to get up there, tire wear. Be conservative early on in this race. You can't afford to burn your stuff up early and only be left with 2 sets of tires. And then obviously long run strategy. This is a long run kind of race. We didn't see a whole lot of cautions at Nashville. We saw them early on, but as we got later on into that race, it very slowly became a very conservative kind of race. So 46 to 52 laps, that stage break will come along right about there. So these guys are going to have to save just a little bit of fuel to try to make it to the end there.
All right. Smalley out in front, Wishing just behind. Let's bring up that track map so you can see just where our drivers are. Still all bunched up together here. 9 laps in already. And just as I say that, caution out, Justin Lewis in the 7 has spun.
Yeah, it looks like he just lost it on the outside line there. Another car in the pits is David Watts in the 54. It's like he was just on pit road as well. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to the 7 there. From what I saw, it looked like just a solo spin. Let's see what happened here.
A little bit of contact with the wall there with the 7.
So here he is. There's the 34 machine there. Yeah, it looks like he's already going around here. So no contact. It looks like just a solo spin. And corrects it right into the wall. Hard hit there for the 7.
All right. Well, some damage to the number 7 of Justin Lewis. That nose is really tore up. I have been notified by admin that our in-race tournament, actually, let's bring that back up. So that was the Final 4 that went into Charlotte. Of course, we were not able to bring that to you live. So it's actually, this is the final tonight here in Nashville. It's between Jared Wishing and Kyle Smalley.
And wouldn't you know it, they're 1-2.
Imagine that.
How convenient that we can keep track of that easily, that they're sitting first and second in both very recognizable paint schemes, thankfully.
There we go. All right, speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a quick look at where our current championship Total 5 are sitting right now on track.
Yeah, very odd race for Caldwell. He's way back in this field in 27th. He's got a long way to go here. The battle between him and Wishing is actually a lot closer than what the standings show, so keep an eye out on Caldwell. He's got a long way to go to get up through this field.
All right. Well, that's our first caution of the night so far here at lap 11 for a single car spin by the number 7 of Justin Lewis. Next time by, the lights will go out on our pace car and we'll go back to green flag racing. So far that's exactly what we expected to see here at Nashville. You know, again, concrete typically creates a lot of significant tire fall off. We'll see how these green flag runs play out. That typically, being conservation is typically the performance differentiator here. As long as you can hang on to your tires, save tires, you can actually make a huge run as the run goes on. But if you're going to burn it up quick, you're going to be basically nursing that car around to the next stop.
Yeah, you're going to have to be really conservative here, especially on this long run. I honestly am shocked to see nobody came down for fuel there, seeing how close it's going to be with the fuel stop there. So it looks like everybody will more likely just kind of clutch their way around this caution. It's going to help them out a little bit in conserving it, but I don't think anybody's wanting to give up track position this early on.
No, you had about 10 drivers who came down, and typically you're going to see most of those are goat racing, diecast goat racing drivers. Those guys just have this mantra that when there's an opportunity to take fuel, you saw Chuck Van Scoik. He came in. He was up there at the front in the top 5. He's now all the way back at the tail end of this field because he came in for fuel.
See if he can make his way back up through here through the Rackley Roofing restart zone. We are back green in Music City, and we are back underway. A good jump from Smalley there, and that's been Smalley's bread and butter all season long, is these restarts. We saw it at Bristol. He got off good there, just got beat late in the race by Wood. He's been so good on these late race restarts and early race restarts especially. If you can control the pace of this field, you really can kind of control what everybody's going to do. When everybody's going to come down pit road, you can dictate that pretty well. And he's doing a great job of that right now, trying to hold this field back and be conservative, save his tires.
On board with Matthew David Wood, as he's got Zach Lindgren to his outside. Really, they're door-to-door here.
Door-to-door for third. That's your second place points leader, Matthew David Wood in the 21 machine. Definitely needing a good night here to start closing that gap back up as we head later and later into the season. He's to the inside of the 85 of Lindgren trying to get that done.
Yeah, I think it's kind of making a bit of a challenge for Matthew Wood. I don't think that's the best line that he could possibly run here. He has no ability to manage that, and he's really been hemmed in with that 85.
Yeah, Lindgren trying to make it a race on that outside line. He's about cleared him a couple times. Just has not been able to get to where he needs to be. Back further in this field, battle for 7th going on as well. That's between Andrew Pileshi and Brian Jones. Looks like Jones is trying to put that battle to bed in the number 4 machine. Trying to clear on that outside, can't quite get there. For the driver to look at, he's back this season for, I believe, his second race. Tyler Clare in the 67 machine, back in 11th. He's trying to chase down Michael Anthony now as Jones has closed that battle up with Pileshi. That outside line getting some really good momentum here.
Absolutely. Good to see Michael Anthony here as well. The Balls Out Racing driver has had some technical issues, which didn't allow him to race here, but good to have him back.
One driver that's made up a fair amount of spots. You can see him in the number 77 Best Buy machine. That's Spencer Burton. Up from 31st, he's now into 22nd, currently working down the 2 machine of Todd Merkel at his first race in the series this season. Excited to see what Burton can do, and so far a really good looking car and a really good line there. I say that as he's chasing down Merkel. A little tap to the wall there as he's trying to get under the 2. But so far it is all Smalley up in front. He had a good battle with Wishin. And look at Brian Jones here. He's passed about 4 cars in this outside line. He's gotten by Leclerc, Paleschi, Anthony, Thomas, and now he's put himself into the 7th place spot.
Yeah, solid run by Brian Jones here. He's up 6 positions. Looks like the biggest gainers right now. See, J.R. Houston tops that list. He's picked up 11 spots. But the driver we were just talking about, Spencer Burton, he's up there as well. Caution's out.
Nope. It's like an issue with Aaron Jackson.
Yep. You see, looking for some damage on that number 12. He may have had some contact with the 08.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, looks like Pittman. Yeah, let's take a look here. So there's Pittman there. Yeah, he's already losing it. Gets onto the apron, gets into the 12. He's still spinning up, and then Shearer comes in.
Yep, 93 taps him. Unfortunately, 2 GOAT Racing drivers unfortunately get collected there. Unfortunately for Aaron Jackson, that was no fault of his own. Just unfortunately, the 08 Pittman got a little bit loose, caught the apron, which unsettled that car, and here we are.
Yeah, it looks like he was already spinning there, coming onto the apron. So.
12 will come in and figure out just what he's got going on. A little bit of smoke from the back of that car, unfortunately. May have some more damage than he realizes. The 08 of Pittman has just been assessed an EOL, so he'll start at the end of the longest line. All right, so we'll be back up front. Kyle Smalley will be our control car. He'll be in charge of this restart.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be Smalley once again, and it really just goes to show how consistent that 51's been all season long. I don't think there's been a race this season where he hasn't led laps. It's just been a near perfect year for the 51. However, he's in the points lead, but not on wins. He has a boatload of stage points, as well as good finishing points here, and that's what Smalley's main thing has been this season: put together good finishes, finish in the top 5, get those stage points. And usually we see him gamble when it comes to these stage breaks here. You usually won't see him pit before that stage. He wants all those points he can get. I mean, it's 10 extra points for you to grab in these stages, so he is really looking forward to hopefully trying to run away with this championship here. But I'll tell you, Matthew David Wood has made it close. He had a couple rough finishes, especially at Talladega. Had a really bad points day. Missed the stage and missed any extra points he could have grabbed. But he's gotten himself within 39 points, and that is definitely make-upable as we get into the last couple races of the season.
Okay, just to kind of bring that back up, you know, really if you look at stage points, if you look at the top 2 drivers, Smalley and Wood, they have capitalized on those stage points. All right, it's about halfway to our stage break here. Just our second caution of the night. Lights are off, and we get that little afternoon as the sun begins to go down, that golden hour. Weather has changed a little bit. No, pretty much about the same. Surprisingly how close that air temperature is.
Ready to go back to the green here at Nashville. About halfway through the stage now is Kyle Smalley, the man up in front, alongside Jared Wishin. He goes to the high side there. Like we got a battle for the 4th place spot going on between Jones and Lindgren. Here comes Smalley looking for second.
Matthew Wood slips under Jared Wishing there. Battle side by side. That's exactly what you want, what Kyle Smalley wants to see in his rearview mirror. These drivers battling side by side behind him. As they race door to door, you'll see that delta between Kyle Smalley and these drivers expand. Got the benefit of clean air all by himself. Matthew Wood falling back a bit here. You see he's dropped, he was door to door with the 17, but he's backed off. Now he's fallen back just a little bit here. Finding himself in fourth with letting Brian Jones get past him on the outside. And then he's got Zach Lindgren there as well.
Brian Jones have a day. He's up to now the third place spot there. He takes that away from Matthew David Wood, who's now in a battle with Zach Lindgren, who we've seen up in the top 5 pretty much all race here. Really close there. Almost contact between the 21 and the 85, but Brian Jones doing an excellent job with that number 4 machine. This might be his best race all season.
Solid work right now. Number of drivers in the pits. Aaron Jackson getting repairs made. Also the 93 of Bud Shearer is there, as well as David Watts in the pits as well. Data on the teammates, you've got Smalley, Anthony, and Walker Thomas all in the top 10, and Jordan Weaver not far back in 15th. So good effort right now from these balls out racing drivers. Same can be said for the Elite Motorsports drivers. Jared Wishing in second, Lindgren in fourth, and then Jeremy Brown and Nathan Yarnell, again, just outside the top 10.
Looking good so far for Smalley. He's controlled pretty much this whole race. He's got a 5.4 second gap, 5.4 tenth of a second, now 7.2 tenths of a second between him and Jared Wishing. Take a look at some battles going on in the top 5 right now, top 10 even, between Walker Thomas and Michael Anthony. That's the 1 and the 14 going at it.
Yeah, those are two teammates battling right there for 6th.
See Calvin Allison battling as well in the 88 machine.
Yep, he's up 10 spots. Tyler Clare is there in 9th. And Aiden Kirker, they're also a relative newcomer, is currently sitting in 10th.
So looking at the results from Charlotte last week, it was obviously Thomas who pulled off the win there. A big win for the number 1 team. You saw Matthew David Wood was 2nd, Tart was 3rd, Chuck Van Scoyth was 4th, Jared Wishing 5th. Not the best day for Kyle Smalley. He ended up finishing 8th in that race. Not the best points day. Brian Jones, Ryan Pittman rounded out the top 10 there. Tart came all the way up from 29th to finish 3rd in that race, but it was a near perfect day for Walker Thomas. Led most of the laps, led 76, and he's looking to have another good finish here at Nashville. The unfortunate thing is you really can't compare Charlotte to Nashville. This is such a different racetrack. Much more wavy. It's concrete. It's much harder to race, less banking especially. And he's battling right now for the 8th place spot. Actually gained a couple spots there. Got by Allison and Anthony's now battling with the 67 of Tyler Clare in his first race back since Talladega.
A number of drivers have been off track here. Casey Herschel, he was off track. He found his way back on. Now you see the 22 of Ty Bostic. He gets spins, goes through the grass. He comes back on. He's okay. Also, we got a black flag assessed to Aaron Jackson. Not quite sure. I'm guessing since he was on pit road. He may have been speeding on pit road.
Yeah, just saw him coming off of pit road, the number 12 machine, so he's rejoining the track right now.
Green flag stays, and just as I say that, caution flies here. Not really sure why. Well, there we go. The 08 of Pittman and the 12 of Aaron Jackson involved.
Yeah, the 8 was involved as well.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
See what happened here.
Meatball flag for Pittman. He is done for the race. I hope this is not what I think it is, but I'm going to look just the same.
Yeah, it looks like Burnett just got into the 12 machine. Let's go back and see what happened here. So yeah, you said he
watching Aaron Jackson, see what happened to the 12. Oh.
That was
the 8 of a teammate wipes it right into him. Then unfortunately, Pittman had no place to go. Winds up getting backed into. Not sure what happened there. I'm wondering if the 12 of let's kind of bring that back. Is he up to speed? Let's pause that real quick and then go on board with the 12 of Jackson. He is not really up to speed, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the plan was there. Interesting.
I'm not sure if he's like running full throttle here and he's only making. It's like he let out of the gas. I don't know.
I mean, was he coming onto pit road? Because he had that penalty. Was that for the pit road?
Yep,
the speeding penalty?
Yeah, he had to serve it, so he was coming onto pit road.
But he was way out there. That's very odd from the 12.
Unfortunately, tore up a lot of race cars. The 08 of Pittman is he's got some significant damage. He probably will not be returning. David Watson got a meatball flag. Maurice Burnett has got a black flag. Aaron Jackson, he's definitely got some repairs to be made. So, unfortunately, he's got some trouble. The 08 was assessed an EOL. So he would go to the end of the longest line. See if we can get some clarification from the admins. All right, let's see. I was going to try and grab Kyle Smalley here, but we're about to go back to green flag, and it is Nashville, so they'll go back pretty quick.
Yeah, doesn't take too long to go around this place.
So the words from the booth, the admins folks said that the 12 was pitting to serve his penalty, but the 8 was not aware. I don't think the 12 announced that he was headed down pit road, and unfortunately, things happen fast at 170 miles per hour.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Pittman, especially for Burnett as well. Both were having some decent runs today, but we get ready to go back to green here. Smalley on the outside, Wishing on the inside. And it does not take too long for these guys to come back through the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. As we come off of Nashville 4, ready to send these guys back to green here. About 8 laps to go in stage number 1. As we get ready to go back to green here in Music City.
And Kyle Smalley found the right sweet spot there to put this car back on the throttle, hammer down, and got a good jump on this field.
Good jump there for the 51 machine. Now a battle going on for second. That is between the Elite Motorsports number 85 machine
Michael
and teammate
Anthony.
17. Yeah. What were you saying about the 14?
14 spins on that, and he is back underway.
So no caution.
No caution does not fly. Fortunately, that spin puts the 14 somewhere at the end of the line. He's coming out of turn 4 while the leaders are now on the middle of the backstretch.
It looks like he got a bump from Leclerc there. If we can see if we can go back and find that. He had a little bit of help there. 6 to go in stage number 1, coming back to 5 to go here. So there's the 67 machine of Leclerc. There's Anthony in the 14 machine. That's the green car there. So he's out of the gas, trying not to get tight, and there's the contact.
Yep, fortunately sending the 14 into the infield. He keeps it together.
Yeah, listen to the audio. It definitely didn't sound intentional. The 14 was off the throttle to avoid getting tight and hitting the car to his outside.
Big battle. There's the Andrew Valeschi now making his way up here. He's up 2 spots up to 7th, and he's door to door with the 21 and the 1 of Walker Thomas there competing there.
In the battle for the top 10 spot here, Spencer Burton has grabbed the 9th place spot and has put himself in position to get stage points.
He's up 21 positions from his starting spot.
Yeah, he's done a great job for sure, and he's getting under fire here from the Elite Motorsports number 46 of Jeremy Brown. Good battle for 6th here.
Huge run by the 46 there.
Yeah, he really dove it in there to get that, and he clears him.
2 laps to go in this stage.
What a send from Jeremy Brown there. It looks like this group up here got all out of whack. Abe Lucas looking down to the bottom of Andrew Paleschi. That's Walker Thomas there in the 1 machine leading that little pack there. Is all Kyle Smalley out in front. No question about it. We've got 1 lap to go in this stage here. You can see these guys, hear them really playing with the throttle here, trying to get these cars to get around these concrete corners. So top 5, as it sits right now, white flag to go in the stage. It is Smalley, Wishon, Lindgren, Jones, and Wood. And Wood is fighting for that 5th place spot now with Thomas.
Caldwell up to P19, but he's definitely slogging it out back in the middle of the pack. Stage should fly, caution should fly right there as a 10th place car crosses the line, and there you've got it. There's your top 10 as posted.
Go ahead and take a look at it here. So there's Kyle Smalley, Jared Wishon, Zach Lindgren, Brian Jones, Matthew David, Walker Thomas, Aiden Lucas, Andrew Paleschi, Jeremy Brown, and Burton in the Spencer Burton in the number 77 grabs the final stage point.
They will double check that with the officials once they get posted to see if there's anything that is different from that, but we expect to see everybody on pit road. And here's the official. I think you had it right there. Smalley, Wishon, Lindgren, Jones, Wood, Thomas, Lucas, Paleschi, Brown, and Burton. All right. Well, we thank you again for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the IWM Cup Series here at Nashville for the Cracker Barrel 200. We certainly appreciate those of you who have subscribed. And if you haven't, click that subscribe button. Stay in tune with what's happening. We bring you the best that sim racing has to offer on Wednesday nights and on Thursday nights. So tomorrow night we will be at Michigan for the INRS Series. That series is shaping up to be just as exciting as this one.
Yeah, and Michigan's always such a fun racetrack to go to. Really exciting. Always puts on good racing. Longest track in the Cup Series, and it always produces great finishes and good racing. Really excited to go back to that 2.5 mile there.
So a number of drivers who pitted last on lap 36 are not coming in for this caution flag, and that is allowing them to improve their positions now. And that's going to be Kirker, Allison, Houston, Caldwell, Lewis, Herschel, and Merkel. Those guys will now move to the front of the field. They've got about 11 lap worse tires. Some of them, particularly Max Caldwell and Justin Lewis with 1320, they did not take tires, so they may be on their originals. They took fuel only. So that could make for a relatively interesting restart.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think chaotic is going to be the good word for it here. You have a lot of good cars there in the top 10 there. Jones, obviously one of those cars. I don't believe Jones did pit, so it'll be Smalley comes out of pit road first here. Let's see. Cars who did not pit are Kirker, Allison, Houston, Caldwell, Lewis, Herschel, and Merkel. So those guys will have to put up a good fight here if they want to stay on that front row.
All right, just about 50 laps are done here. We'll go back to racing at lap 50, 1/3 of the way through. And good racing so far.
It's been really fun to watch here as Kirker will be leading us back to green.
He'll have Calvin Allison to the outside. Right behind them, J.R. Houston and Maxwell Caldwell.
Pace car lights are off.
And the track lights are on. Looks like the 39 delayed that. He took his time getting up to speed and going. And that gave the 88 a pretty good opportunity there, but really, the 39's capitalizing on it. They're battling right behind, door to door.
Yeah, really good side-by-side action here. There's Calvin Allison in the 80 on the outside, and that's Houston in the 20 machine. Houston's been looking for a good run this season in the number 20 Trevor Project machine, having a good run there in third. He did.
Lost you there for a second.
Here. Started a little bit up there on the inside line there. As that almost went bad. You can see really backed up was this 94 machine of Caldwell, really backed it up into that corner. As now Smalley's making a run for 7th.
Yeah, that number 51 on the move here after the fresh tires and fuel. His way up, he's got the 7 of Justin Lewis, who was involved in an earlier incident, but seems to be doing okay.
Could not find the spot there to move up. He's trying to get by the 7 machine. The 85 is going to try to fall in with him. That's the 85 of Zach Lindgren. Behind them is Jared Wishin. All of those cars have pitted from 7th on back.
bit of a block right happening in front between the 94 and...
Oh, way out of the gas goes the 51.
The 49 right there of Casey Herschel, and the 94 were door to door there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there with Smalley. He had to get way out of the throttle for a minute there.
He's got a lot of action going on right in front of him. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, that's going to put Lindgren into the 7th place spot, which, before all is said and done, is more than likely going to be the lead. And he is not loving the battle he's seeing there between Lewis and Caldwell into the wall. Contact.
Yep. These guys are battling hard right in front, and unfortunately they've got the 51 behind, the 85 right behind them. And the last thing you want to do is get caught up in that collective issue.
What a move there from Zach Lindgren to get to the inside of the 94 of Caldwell. Makes that pass done. Smalley has to once again back out of the throttle. He's got to chase down Lewis now, and it is Aiden Kirker up in front by about 0.6 of a second.
We'll step away just a second to give the leader his due here. Looks like DeLance in New York. The leader, Aiden Kirker. Looking farther back again, Kyle Smalley is trapped in this Hornets as he got around the 94. Jared Wishin is there as well behind him, but he has got just all kinds of trouble in front of him. See the 49 and the 7 doing a little bit of back and forth swapping positions.
Oh, caution! 64 Sturgill going around.
Michael Anthony involved, I think. Let's just double check that. Yeah, Cody Sturgill, I think, may be the only person involved in that.
Okay, so there was already something happening to start with there. So it looks like the 25 machine was who it initially started with. That's Roberto Ramirez. Looks like he clipped the 64. You can go back and find that.
Oh, and the 2 of Merkel.
Yeah. Ooh. That was a fast spin for the 64. Definitely did not see that coming. Let's see if we can get an onboard of the 64 Sturgill, just to see how fast that happened.
Absolutely. He thought he had it. He thought he was clear, but unfortunately...
You do not, unfortunately, factor spinning in to going that fast.
No. All right, so caution's out here, lap 59, between, looks like the spin of the 25, Roberto Ramirez. Unfortunately, that 25 collected both the 64 of Sturgill and the 2 of Todd Merkel caught a little bit of that as well. These drivers are now making their way down onto pit road, trying to figure out just what's wrong with their race cars. Prior to this stop, see the drivers had pitted up at the front. They had gone in on lap 23. They've been out for 23 laps. See Justin Lewis right there. He's been in he's a fuel only his last time. The same with Maxwell Caldwell. Well, everybody else took tires. Those guys are probably going to rethink that move.
Yeah, and I'm shocked we didn't see him come down this time by. But Kirk are going to try to hold on to it.
He'll have Allison on the outside as well. Behind will be the 20 of J.R. Houston, who's, again, he's up 23 spots. He started back in 26th. He's now up to 3rd. And you'll have Justin Lewis up there as well. So one of the things we do know about this track is it is hard to pass.
Yeah, we've seen that so far this race. Thought the 20 was going to go down pit road there. Didn't end up doing it. But yeah, it is hard to pass, like you said, and track position is everything, especially in qualifying here. That's why these guys are wanting to stay out. They know it's tough to get by somebody here. So they're going to use that track position that they have to their advantage. One, two green here.
All right, watching Aiden Kirker in that 39. Make his way to the middle of the backstretch. So far, so good.
All right, through the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone, we are back to green.
That's a great restart for Aiden Kirker there. Just about halfway through that restart zone, he put the throttle down, got a good jump. It appears to me, Noah, that even though you get a good jump, you really can't take advantage of it until you're almost a full lap into it.
No, you really can, and you just have to wait on those cars behind you to either mess up or just lose a lot of momentum. Calvin Allison really fighting that car. You can just see how tight that 88 machine is in the corner, floats way up the racetrack. Really struggling there to try to get that car under control, but that leaves Zach Lindgren in the 85 machine. They're big loose there from the 20 machine of Houston. Yeah, he is really fighting that car. Take a look at that 20 all over the racetrack.
See the 49 right there. That's Casey Herschel coming up on the outside. Oh, contact with the wall with the 4 of Brian Jones.
Yeah, Herschel hit the wall there as well. 3
wide. Oh,
wow.
Alessi going around.
34. And Lucas goes around, and a chain reaction. Now it's Leclerc going around as well. Caution flags out. And that was just one heck of a chain reaction there. I mean, it happened. One went, and then the other, and then the other.
Saw Aiden Lucas involved as well. It started with Alessi.
That's Alessi, and then it was the 67 as well of Leclerc. And they both had, all 3 of them had hard contact. So let's take a look here.
So a little bit of a tap.
Yeah, there's a 67, gets into the 34, gets into the 91. There's a 91, now the 34 is loose. Now he's into the outside wall. And if it'll pan back quick enough, there's the 67 going around, overcorrects it. Now he's into the wall.
All right, no meatball flags for any of these drivers, so the damage wasn't that extensive, but that's certainly going to put a damper on some of these drivers' nights. Both Leclerc and Aiden Lucas were doing quite well so far. And of these drivers we saw involved, Aiden Lucas, Andrew Alessi, Leclerc, all on pit road, Nathan Yardell. But again, your drivers did not come back in.
Yeah, Aiden Kirker taking advantage of that track position. I can't blame him. It has been really hard to get here. This race has proven so far.
Kyle Smalley's now currently sitting in 6th. Let's see if we can try to reach Kyle Smalley here. Hey Kyle, it's the broadcast booth. How are you doing?
Good, guys. How are y'all?
Doing pretty well. So you're fighting your way back up?
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, even the guys that stayed out or pit before the stage and then stayed out on the stage, you can't pass them. I wish this track would widen out, but I really don't think it is. I mean, I think even when the sun goes down, it's going to get even worse. So
yeah,
see what I can do here and see if I can get back to the front.
Yeah, it's been hard to pass here from what we've seen so far. How important is track position? Obviously, you qualified on the front row in 2nd. How important has track position been all day long?
It means everything. Basically, if you start first and with 20 to go, you basically win the race. There's no one can pass you. So just see if I can strategize my way back to the front and see what happens.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Hope to talk to you at the end of the race.
Thanks, guys.
Got it. All right, that's Kyle Smalley. Tell us about how challenging it is to pass. We kind of knew that, but yeah, it's playing out for sure. Matthew Wood finds himself back in 11th. He's got Walker Thomas to his outside. Chuck Van Scoik back there in that classic paint scheme that Chuck runs often. He finds himself in 16th. John Ledger in 18th. Tyler Clare back in 22nd. All right, about to go back to green.
Aiden Kirker and Justin Lewis on the front row here. And we're back to green. Good jump by the 39.
Solid on the outside, too. That 7 did a great job trying to keep up with him, but, you know, that control car has that advantage.
Kirker up to the front of that number 39 Moza racing machine. Doing a great job here so far. And I'll tell you one thing, this Elite Motorsports team, if we can bring up the graphic of where they're all at, they really have come on strong in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, that's Elite Motorsports too. Let me find the regular Elite guys. Here we go.
You can see there Lindgren, Wishon, Brown, Yarnell. They really have come on strong in the last couple of races, putting together some good finishes. And they're looking to get one tonight if Kirker can try to hold on to it.
Also up there is the Misfit Mafia guys. Look at that. Yep. 4th, 5th, and 8th.
Yeah, Balls Out Racing doing a great job too. I believe their highest car right now is the 51. Doing a great job there is Smalley, leading the way for that team. And not too spread out, right where they need to be.
Just talking about those teams and how well they're doing, and Aiden Kirker just set the fastest lap of the race at 29.87. We're going to see some faster laps as this track cools off as we go under the lights here. Let's see if we got an update on the weather. Yeah, overcast, track temperature only 79, 80 degrees. That's pretty cool. Caution hasn't come out, but a number of drivers are involved here. The 77's going around. 45 is involved.
Huh. Don't know how that wasn't a caution there. Yeah, see if we can go back and get a look at the full scope of that
Oh
incident
yeah,
there.
there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there is so much happening here in just this front straightaway.
See, the
All right.
77 is up under the 45. There's contact.
Yeah, and then bang, bang, bang. Yeah, I don't know how that didn't unfold into a caution is beyond me. It just kept unfolding there.
A lot of grass cutting by Sammy Harrell. Yeah. And there is still.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll let that one go. All right, back to racing. We're still green flag racing here. Aiden Kirker out in front.
Man, this is a dream night for that number 39 machine. He is really needing a run like this. But on newer tires, Zach Lindgren has finally gotten to Justin Lewis. And now has to get through only him and Aiden Kirker to find himself in the lead. But don't look too far in your rearview mirror. That 51 machine is coming on strong. Trying to get the 88 of Allison.
He's up underneath, just on that inside of that right left rear quarter. Oh, Allison drives on by. A good move for Allison in the 88. He's found a way to really dive in that corner and make that car stick.
Yeah, it's been amazing watching that 39 work as well, and he's really been able to make that car work.
Tyler Kirk is across the front stretch. Careful as he comes back on the racing surface. No flag flies. You know, that really is also a testament to the fact that this track is really wide.
Yeah, you have a long ways to go when you come from the bottom of that racetrack all the way to the top. And so far, 67 just proved that.
Yep. I mean, there's a solid 4.5 grooves here that you can run. Looking at Zach Lindgren, he's got Calvin Allison behind him. Justin Lewis, who's got his hands full with the 51 of Smalley. That's just that view tells you so much about the fact that you're at the mercy of the guy in front of you and his braking zones.
Yeah, you're really just having to race how he's racing, pretty much, kind of copy what he's doing. And so far, Smalley is kind of struggled to get back up there. He's able to run with the 7, just not able to get by him.
That's what he needed right there. Whereas in the past, that 7 had kind of closed that. Oh, contact. I think the 51 has found that if he can get under the 7, he can make that car stick, and he'll at least run door to door for a while there. But the 7 of Justin Lewis has kind of figured it out. He knows if he lets the 51 get up underneath him, he's going to lose the position.
Don't count out Matthew David Wood either. He's currently back in the 10th place spot. He's trying to fight his way back up with Casey Herschel in the 49. And he's trying to get there. It's just so hard to pass here at concrete tracks like this.
We've got a little bit of space in front of him and Walker Thomas. A little bit of relatively clean air in front. Not quite the clean air that Aiden Kirker has. Now the 39 of Aiden Kirk is going to find himself eventually. He's about a turn and a half away from running up to lap traffic.
And he's a lot less than that from Zach Lindgren, who has been catching him the last couple of laps here. Lindgren's last lap was a 30.25. Kirker's was a 32.07.
Pretty good for with all that clean air, but that is going to change once that gap is closed between the 25. Let's see where that's Roberto Ramirez in the 25. We can bring up his last lap to leader lap. So he was almost a second and a half, a second and a third slower than the leader.
And I believe that 25 has some damage from earlier as well. Looks like that 25's got some riding issues there.
Yep.
Almost up into the wall.
Lindgren's beginning to take, I just picked up a 10th between himself and the leader. And right now, the 39 is about to catch the 25. Your leader, Aiden Kirker, out there trying to run down. I don't know why our paint schemes are not matching there, but hey, that's what it is.
Yeah, I have the same paint scheme for Kirker there as well, so you're not alone on that.
As what's on track?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have him in his elite Moser racing car. Looks like he's going under the 25 machine of Ramirez here. Gets by him, no issue. That's probably the easiest pass he'll get all night.
Yep. But at the same time, Lindgren 0.67, so he's maintained pretty close between himself and Kirker there. It hasn't closed much gap at all. It's just hard to pass here.
Cars that are, as of right now, out of this race. Jordan Weaver has just disconnected as well. Todd Merkel, Maurice Burnett, Ryan Pittman, Aaron Jackson have all disconnected from this race.
That's unfortunate.
And Lindgren ran a little bit faster that time by about 0.03 of a second faster, so not too much, but he is gaining. These two for Elite Motorsports. Both of these guys fighting for playoff spots, or at least to advance where they're at.
See,
a lot of movement.
Currently showed at 12.
Yeah, a lot of movement back there for that 8th place spot, getting by the lap car of Ramirez. Is now side by side for 7th. That's Jones and Thomas looking for that spot.
I guess information as to where Aiden Kirker sits in the points. So Aiden Kirker is pretty far back. He's currently sitting in 33rd, but he's only had 7 starts this season.
Interesting.
Where we've run 13 races so far. So he's had half the starts, and he is on the move. Just about 100 or so points outside of the cut line. A win tonight would certainly help close that gap for certain.
Lindgren was a full tenth faster last time by.
Well, we haven't talked about it much, but he's pitted last on lap 36. We assume right now that they can run 45. We've had a couple of cautions in here. At least 2. Let's see what our telemetry shows. Our telemetry says he needs to come in.
Yeah, I'm impressed that he's been able to keep his car out as long as he has. He's done a great job.
The same goes for Calvin Allison and Justin Lewis, Casey Herschel, Max Caldwell. Those guys all pitted last on lap 36. What I don't recall, we've had 4 or 5 cautions, just how many we've had since lap 30. So we had the stage for sure. I think there's been 1 since, so 2. Oh, and caution flies.
Oh boy.
That could not have come.
Big time.
Yeah. I've got Chuck Van Scoik involved, as well as J.R. Houston, both involved in this. Aiden Kirker is saying that was manna from heaven right there.
Yeah, it looks like one of those pit road miscommunications once again. But for Aiden Kirker to not only be as late as he was on that pit cycle, but now he gets to pit with everybody and keep track position if he can have a good stop, that's huge for that 39.
And Nathan Yarnell was also involved in the 55. He is now stopped on the track, on the apron. Oh, and he towed in. So you're exactly correct, Noah. Right now, that's such an opportunity for Aiden Kirker. He stayed out the longest. He took the advantage of the stage. He pitted 10 laps before the stage break came out. He wasn't up there going to get any points, so he stayed out, and it paid off. Of course, we're coming up at lap 98. There's a good chance this is the last stop of the race.
Yep. So from what I'm hearing right now, if we look on the back straightaway, Houston is out of gas. That car is completely shut off. Yeah, he's completely out of gas. He's about to stop that car.
Yep. That is going to be a bad deal for the 20. He is going to have to tow. He's going to tow in. Which in the iRacing world means he just has to get dropped onto pit road. Not good. All good for Aiden Kirker and Calvin Allison. They came out, they went in 1-2, they came out 1-2.
Yeah, that's really good for both of those guys. They're going to use that track position with everything they got, and they're going to defend it. It would be a huge points day for that 39 if he can pull off a win. It'd be his first of the season.
The 77 is giving a push to the 20.
getting a push from Burton.
That's exactly what the 20 needed. But the lights are off on the pace car as those guys are working their way to try and get some fuel into the 20. Aiden Kirker is about to lead this field to a lap here around lap 101. I tried to look and see if we could find Aiden Kirker in Discord in our race, but no such luck.
We can get him back in a little bit.
All right, pace car drops off.
Here we go.
The restart for the 39. Huge move by Zach Lindgren, gets around the 88 and under the 39.
This might be exactly what Zach Lindgren needed to turn his day around. Try to get the lead. Can't quite get there. It's still Kirker in the front.
Little tap to the wall by the 88 as Walker Thomas pokes his nose in there as well with the 1. It's Smalley, Matthew David Wood, and the 17 of Jared Wishin all bunched up right there. '88 really tries to get around Zach Lindgren. Of course, here's something to consider. We're right now we're super early in this run. There's 48 laps to go. If you're pushing your car as hard as you can, you are going to really wear this car down. There's no conservation. You're just right now just all at it. But then again, it's a balance because passing is so challenging.
Yeah, you really have got to be patient here. You just saw Thomas get into the wall there. You really can't afford to make any big moves right now. You've got to be able to stay consistent, stay patient, run your laps, and when it comes go time, which will be about 20 to go, if you have enough still saved up, make that run.
Yeah, right now I don't see anybody banking much at this point. They're just fighting for positions, especially with fresh tires.
Yeah, look at Kirker and Allison there. 0.2 of a second is the gap now between those two, and Kirker trying to make it a lot bigger. Gaining a lot there off of turn 4.
The door-to-door battle right there with the 1 and the 85.
Yeah, watching those two there, that's another points battle to watch as well. And now he's got Lindgren in his sights.
And as we remind you, there's still one more battle going on. That's between Wishin and Smalley.
Yeah, Wishin's back in 9th, so he's got a little bit of a fight to go if he wants to grab that in-season championship.
Yeah, the 17 was up there, but he's kind of slipped back a little bit since this restart. He's got his hands full with the 49 of Casey Herschel. Looks like Zach Lindgren has made his way around Walker Thomas to take over third. We have the bumper of Calvin Allison, who's now fallen back about 3/10 behind Aiden Kirker. Oh, there's a wreck going on in the back. Caution's out. The 49 was involved. And Jared Wishin. Broadcaster's curse there another time, buddy.
Yeah, unfortunately, but Casey Herschel took a hit to the outside wall there. Not what he needed.
No, Casey was having a pretty good race tonight.
So was Wishing.
See, these two are door to door.
Yeah, Wishing got the best end of that deal, thankfully. He didn't hit anything.
Yeah, so the 49 drifted up a bit and got into the 17.
Yeah, it doesn't look malicious there. Just some light contact and...
Wow, fortunate for both drivers. Not a lot there. All right, caution flies here. Lap 109. Don't expect to see a lot of drivers in. Herschel, Sturgill, Lucas, Leclerc, Wishin, J.R. Houston, Bud Shearer, and Jerry Brown.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun to watch this battle here between these two on this front row. They've been really competitive all night long.
25 of Roberto Ramirez gets a lucky dog wave around. He was one lap down. He may now find himself back on the lead lap. Let's see if we can grab Calvin Allison here. Hey, Calvin, it's the broadcast booth. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Man, tell us a little about trying to run down this 39.
Passing so hard here, I've pretty much settled for second.
It is a challenging track, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun track, though.
Well, good luck to you, and we'll hope to talk to you at the end of the race.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. Looks like the 49 was assessed a black flag. He's on pit road. Sometimes our assumption, my assumption is that was speeding or an unsafe entry or onto pit road, or that could have been thrown by the booth. I'm not sure. All right, lights are off on the pace car. Go back at lap 112. Just 38 laps to go here at Nashville with the Cracker Barrel 200 in the IWM Cup Series. Aiden Kirker, your leader, he's in control of this restart.
Here we go. Big stack up there on the restart.
Yeah,
and we go back to green.
A lot of action going back on that inside, a lot of bumping. 4 was all into the bumper of the 51. Oh, there's contact. 51 takes out the 1.
Into the wall. Really unfortunate there for the 1 of Thomas.
Oh, the 7 also is stopped on the track. What happened to the 7 of Justin Lewis? He gets it going again.
Looks like he got into Brian Jones. Then that could have changed the whole course of this race.
Watch the 7 come down. I think the 4 just kind of backed out of the throttle, and that caused the 7 to go up under him. He caught the apron. I think the 7 caught the apron a bit and spins him around. All right, still under green here for a number of incidents that just occurred. Unfortunately, the 51 has probably got to have some conversations in that booth with his teammates.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be some conversation in that team's channel for sure. But Kirker doing a great job so far. I wouldn't say running for his life, but he's got the track position. He's got to be able to hold it here. Lindgren slowly trying to creep up.
Well, I think that's either a direct affiliate or definitely a teammate between Aiden Kirker and Lindgren. Let's double check the channel. Yep, they're not in our Discord. We'll have a conversation about that too.
Can you see what teams they're on?
Yeah, they're
together?
on Elite
The graph?
Motorsports, yeah.
So it is Aiden Kirker. 0.3 of a second is the gap between him and Zach Lindgren, who's been right there at getting the lead all day. Has not been able to get it outright yet. It's Calvin Allison, Kyle Smalley, and Matthew David Wood. That's your top 5. Looking at the in-season tournament, Jared Wishon sitting in 8th, Smalley sitting in 4th.
That certainly has narrowed, that gap has closed between those two with just 33 laps to go. All right, Aiden Kirker out in front, Lindgren in second, Calvin Allison hanging on to third, Kyle Smalley up to fourth, Matthew Wood in fifth, Brian Jones in sixth, Michael Anthony, solid performance tonight in seventh, Wishon in eighth, Maxwell Caldwell in ninth, and Chuck Van Scoik up to 10th. Let's go ahead and get those championship top 5.
You can see there way back is Walker Thomas. He had a good run going, just unfortunately got into the wall there. Caldwell has really worked his way up. He was in 27th when we first checked on him. He's found his way up tonight.
And Jared Wishon back there in P8.
Smalley and Wood have both found each other now, about 0.4 separating those two. That's the battle for the championship lead there. About 39 points separates those two. And any point gained is definitely important as we get to the end here.
Yeah, Kyle Smalley won the stage, so that's 10 points to the good for him. Matthew Wood picked up 5 points, so there's already a 5-point delta between those two drivers. And right now, with just 1 point separating them, or 1 place separating them between 4th and 5th, Matthew Wood needs to get around the 51. right now with that, with Kyle Smalley sitting in 4th, he'll get 33 points plus 10 for the stage. Matthew Wood will get 32 plus 5, so 37. So about 5 points overall. 6 points will separate the two of them. And let's just double check and see from a loose lead. Kyle Smalley, there'll be another point for Kyle Smalley. So those incremental, we talk about 1 point here or a couple points here, it all adds up in the end.
Yeah, Kirker leading the most laps so far, which at the start of this race, it looked like Smalley was going to run away with this thing. And unfortunately, it just dropped back after some pit cycles, and it finds himself in 4th. But Lindgren, it's been so hard for him to get the lead here. He's been 2nd almost all of this race. He's just not been able to get up there, and he's dropped about a 10th in the last 5 laps. Now 2 tenths.
27 laps to go. Can we stay green? Walker Thomas is still in the pits. He's been in there for an extended period of time with damage to that #1 car from that incident. Tough break for the one. Six laps to go. Aiden Kirker. He is doing well on fuel, so we should have no issues. Well, I say that, you just never know. Our telemetry is not the same as what those drivers are seeing in the car with their fuel pressure. It's our best estimate. All right, solid for Aiden Kirker. Looking a bit farther back, I think Zach Lindgren's got Calvin Allison catching up to his bumper. Of course, it doesn't mean he can actually pass him. That's the challenge you face here on this track for certain.
Battle for 3rd. It's going to go to Allison now. Side-by-side action. And I'll tell you one thing. Matthew David Wood is loving what he's seeing.
Man, the 88 slips farther back. So back and see just what happened to Allison there. So the 88 just got super loose.
Yeah, he really just about lost it there. Yeah, big loose.
Watching again. This is replay, folks. We'll be back the last couple laps here of the 88 who went from 2nd for 3rd, slipping back here all the way to 6th.
Already trying to step out on him. You can see it there. Falls in line there.
Yep.
All right, so he has slipped back to 6th place. That now puts Smalley and Wood both together in 3rd and 4th. The gap has now grown to 7/10 of a second between Kirker and Lindgren, and he's got 18 laps to get it done.
He's got plenty of clean air in front of him. He won't catch up to a Roberto Ramirez, who is the last car for him to see. He's got a full straightaway of clean air in front of him. So, I won't say it. Let's see how the race plays out. But Zach Lindgren's got a lot of track to catch up on. He's already nearly a full second behind. Closest battle right there is the 51 and the 21. That's for 3rd. Ryan Jones all by himself in 5th. He's got Calvin Allison trying to make up some of those spots he lost and to hold on to a top 10. Michael Anthony currently sitting in 7th. Jared Wishin back in 8th, and Max Caldwell by himself in 9th, and Chuck Van Scoik in 10th. Back to the field, see John Ledger back here behind him. Oh, a little loose with that 19 as he dirt tracked around. Ty Bostic is there with Casey Herschel. Sammy Harrell by himself. Andrew Blush a few car lengths back. So the field is basically spread out pretty decently here.
70 Motorsports really wanting a good run here. Those two drivers there.
But the story here is Aiden Kirker, who has led, well, let's see where he's at now. He has led 88 laps here in this race. Timed it right. Stayed really since this stage break flew. He stayed out, made it work, got a couple, at least one lucky yellow flag that played right into his hand, took advantage of that, and hasn't lost the lead since.
Yeah, that was about the best move he could have possibly made, and I think that'll be one of the best strategy calls you see all season. It played perfectly in his hands.
All right, 12 laps to go here at Nashville. The Cracker Barrel 200. Aiden Kirker out in front. I want to thank all of you who have been watching tonight's event. We appreciate that. And if you have an opportunity to subscribe, we'd love to have you join our channel.
Almost 10 laps to go. It'll be 10 this time by. See Walker Thomas. He's trying to maybe pulling on a pit road here. And it may be just the thing catching up here. But it is Aiden Kirker up in front with 10 to go. He almost has a second now between him and Zach Lindgren. Smalley almost 2 seconds back. Wood is almost 3 seconds back. And it has been near perfection from Aiden Kirker tonight. What a run that 39 machine is having. It'll be a win for the ages for him. Started in 10th, now up to 1st. So far, biggest mover this race is the 19 of John Ledger, up from 21st. He finds himself from 28th, excuse me. He finds himself in 11th.
right, solid here. Just 8 laps to go. We're watching Aiden Kirker. I don't think we've had a chance to speak with Aiden Kirker this season.
I don't think we have, and he's hoping that it'll be his first time we get to see him. Caution flag is out.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Bud Shearer involved. 93.
It's like he just lost it on his own. Wow. And that is going to change things up big time here, and that's going to make a couple of these drivers fight hard to the finish.
Well, the question is, with 8 laps to go, 6 laps to go, probably 3 by the time we go back. Do we come down? Take 2 tires?
I don't know. From what I'm hearing from race control, I heard they're going to get the one to go this time by, and Kirker's out. Wow.
Kirker stayed out. Lindgren, Smalley, Jones stayed out. Matthew Wood went in. He thought everybody in front of him was going down. They all turned out at the last second, and he was committed. He had no choice. Watch this replay again on pit road. He sees the 51 go down, says, oh, he's going in, I'm going in. And then he could not turn back out.
Yeah, it's going to be heartbreak for a couple of those guys, for sure.
Matthew Wood is back out. He took 4 tires and fuel. I would love to be able to talk to the 85 or the 39, but we don't have access at this point to them.
Yeah, really unfortunate. I'd love to see what going through their minds. Not sure if Brian Jones is in here. I don't think he is either.
We can't speak to Brian Jones. Where are we at? The lights are on the pace car. They're off. Well, we may be able to pull them out.
Yeah, you just ask him something real quick. I'll stay quiet back here.
No,
Won't
go ahead. Go ahead. Hey, Brian, can you hear us?
I got you.
Brian, you're coming down to the finish here. You don't have many laps left coming to it here. You got about 3 laps to go when we get back to green. What's the strategy here in this restart?
Just survive and race everybody clean is kind of the goal here, you know. Try not to take anybody out, have a good finish.
All right. Good luck to you. Hope to talk to you at the end.
Yes, sir. We'll see y'all soon.
All right, that's Brian Jones in the 4. He is starting just behind the leader on this restart.
4 to go at the line. And it's going to be a good finish here, I got a feeling.
Pace car drops off.
And here we go. Through the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. This is going to mean everything right here. Green flag is back out. Good push from the 4, Jones.
Good move by the 4. That was absolutely the best move for the 4.
Oh, he's way up the racetrack.
That allowed the 85 to get up under him almost, but he's still not clear. Door to door, just 4 laps to go. Oh, the 14, Michael Anthony in the wall.
We'll see if that'll be a caution. And now the 46, 49 going around. That's Casey Herschel on the front straightaway. Caution flag is out. Wow.
Casey Herschel goes around. Not sure what caused that incident. We'll take a quick look back at the 49. See the 14 in the wall. They're 3 wide in front of him. You got maybe a little bit of a tap from the 21 there.
See, it looks like it was him and Wood there. Yep.
See
Yeah,
Wood
almost
going.
had it there.
Yep.
Is Wood taking the shortcut to pit road?
Michael Anthony is on pit road. He has got a meatball flag from that contact with the wall earlier. All right, that puts this. This will be lap 149. So, thinking green, white checker.
I think so.
Yep. 10th caution of the night so far. It's been relatively a clean race. Most of those incidents were just caused by self-spin. Roberto Ramirez gets a wave around. He'll get the lucky dog. Put him back on the lead lap. Interesting enough, your top 5, and with the exception of Jared Wishin, your top 7 did not pit that last time.
Interesting.
All right, we'll go. Officially, this will be the end of lap 150. And at this point, we move to a green-white checker. If you're not familiar, that means when the green flag flies, if we can make it around cleanly back to the starter's stand, we will get the white with 1 to go, and the next flag will be the checker. If there is a caution prior to that, then that's a problem. And we'll rack and stack and do it all over again. I do see that they have assessed the 21 a penalty, and he will wind up going to the end of the longest line for that contact.
So this is,
go ahead.
yeah, this is interesting here. Take a look at this front row. It's flip-flopped from what it was. So now this puts Jones on the outside front row. That puts Lindgren and Smalley in row 2. It was Smalley on the inside last time with Kirker on the inside as well, and then it was Jones and Kirker on the outside.
Well,
so
this winds up great because Kirker and Lindgren are teammates. So you're nose to tail with your teammate. That's a huge opportunity, especially if you can time this restart with some team orders to really get a good start and try to finish 1-2.
All right, green, white, checkered.
Pace car is off.
Through the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. We're green.
Good jump by the 39 and with the 85 in tow. A lot of action going on back in the field. Jockeying for position. Back up front, the 85 and the 39 have kind of broken away a little bit. And they get to that start stand. Will the white flag fly? Yes, it does. White flag here at Nashville. Aiden Kirker, race win in hand. Zach Lindgren behind Brian Jones. This will be a podium that we haven't seen all season.
Here comes Aiden Kirker. He's got 2 corners left to go. Can he hold off the 85 long enough? Off of turn number 4, his first win of the season. Aiden Kirker is going to win the Cracker Barrel 200 here at Nashville. Zach Lindgren will finish second, Brian Jones in third, Kyle Smalley in fourth, and Calvin Allison will round out the top 5. What a win for Aiden Kirker. I have a feeling that Elite Motorsports is going to be partying tonight.
Great success for the 39 here. Getting a little tap in the back by the 51.
Almost lost it into his teammate there.
Right? 17, also a teammate, comes up and taps him. Some excitement
it was a
there.
1-2-5, 1-2-6 finish for this team. Aiden Kirker's first career win in the IWM Cup Series, and a huge win for that Elite Motorsports team, and a well-deserved win. One of the best strategy calls I've seen in a long time. Aiden Kirker, burn it down. You win in the Music City.
All right, here are our results for the Cracker Barrel 200. Obviously, Aiden Kirker wins. Zach Lindgren in second. Brian Jones finishes in third. Kyle Smalley in fourth. Calvin Allison in fifth. Jared Wishin in sixth. That means that Kyle Smalley will win the in-season championship. Sammy Harrell finishes in seventh with Chuck Van Scoyken-Ake. Eighth, Maxwell Caldwell in ninth, and Andrew Plush in 10th.
John Ledger will finish 11th. Ty Bostic will finish 12th. Justin Lewis in 13th. Ty Leclerc in 14th. Christoph Hall 15th. Jerry Houston 16th. Matthew Wood in 17th. Aiden Lucas 18th. Roberto Ramirez 19th. And Cody Sturgill in 20th.
21st, get you Casey Herschel with Michael Anthony, Bud Shearer, Spencer Burton, Walker Thomas, Jeremy Brown, Nathan Yarnell, Jordan Weaver, Todd Merkel, and Ryan Pittman, followed by Maurice Burnett, Aaron Jackson, and David Watts. All right, your hard charger award goes to Sammy Harrell. Aiden Kirker leads 106 laps to come home, and that fastest lap, that goes to the number 1 of Walker Thomas. All right, with that, let's see if we can get some time with Brian Jones here. There we go. Brian, congratulations on your finish here at Nashville.
Thanks. It was just kind of a grind there at the end, trying to get all you can on the restarts. Had a really good opportunity to take the lead there with second to last restart and just sent it a little bit too hard on the outside, but still happy with the P3, happy with the points day.
Yeah, it was really hard. It was really hard to pass here in Nashville. It's just one of those tracks that you really have to be patient and kind of work these guys over. You fought up a couple positions there. I believe you started in the 12th place spot. How hard was it to get up there? Obviously, it's a long race, but what did it take to get that car up here?
Well, about the first 6 spots at the beginning of the race were not too bad. And then beyond that, once you get up there with next, like Kyle Smalley and Walker Thomas and those guys, it's just impossible to pass. You needed them to pretty much hit the wall or have a bad restart to get by them.
Well, congratulations on your finish. Any shout-outs tonight?
Big shout out to the wife, Alanis. She's not been feeling well, but I think she's getting better. Shout out to Home Field Apparel. They've kind of been supporting the dirt racing side of things and have them on the car tonight. So big shout out to them. Shout out to Apex Coffee Roasters. Use code Alanis at checkout for 20% off. Also, shout out to Expel. If you want to go get car care products, use code Alanis20 for 20% off at checkout.
Got it. All right, there's Brian Jones finishing in third place here in Nashville. Let's go ahead and see if we can say hello to our second place finisher, Zach Lindgren. Hey, Zach, congratulations on your second place finish. Good night for Elite.
Yeah, it was a really good night. Even with Jared up there too at the beginning of the race, we held strong, and then when Aiden took the lead, we held strong again and got ourselves back up to a good spot. So, for as far as team goes, congrats to Aiden. He ran one hell of a race tonight. He used that clean air to his advantage and put the dirty air on me wherever he could, and I do not blame him one little bit, teammates or not. So, no, it was a really good run for Elite tonight. Like Jared getting up on pole and then staying up there for majority of the race. He even came back right there at the end to give Kyle a run for his money. I know they were competing for the driver bracket, so still just for overall for Elite, it was a really good race, a really good win for Elite, and yeah, just nothing more I could say about that. It's just a really good run by every Elite driver tonight.
Absolutely. Give us a little. I know, obviously being teammates, but give us a little bit on that last restart. Just what was going through your mind trying to get there and try to get around your teammate.
Well, even with Aiden in front of me, I knew if I could stay within striking distance, I might have a shot. He was able to get out into 6 to 8 tenths, somewhere right there in front of me, and that's where everything would kind of hold. So I knew on a restart it would be my best chance. But the first and utmost goal when I was starting P3 on that last restart was to try to make it around Brian Jones. It was really tight getting into the corner on the bottom. The car would slide way up. It looked like it was the same thing on the top, but you had a little bit more of an arc. So that was the first objective, is to clear Brian Jones out of or going into one, try my best, and then have a shot at Aiden. And when teammates like that, there's not a lot said. I think we both knew that we're both going for it. We're both competitors, so there's not a lot said. But there's so much respect between all of us, especially when there's a lot of us that have a chance. When there's those that have a chance for the win, there's a lot of respect inside Elite. So, like I said, there wasn't a lot of talking, but there's a lot of silent communication, so to say. So, yeah, no, again, that was goal number one, was to get around Brian. I don't know what was going on with the rest of the field. They really let the two guys that hate these cars the most go up and finish one too. So, no, I'm just playing, but no, still a good team win all around. Regardless of who's up front and who wins it, it's a team win regardless. So yeah, just a really good team win all around.
Well, congratulations. Any shout outs?
Yeah, just give a shout out to Shinedown for being on the car. I know there was a lot of hype around the Sabrina Carpenter and Ella Langley cars up there, but the Shinedown car kind of snuck his way into the whole battle for bands and took that one tonight. So I'll take that. So a huge shout out to Shinedown for being on the car. Again, everyone at Elite Motorsports for being in there, kind of keeping everyone sane. We all had some really good runs. Just some of us had some bad luck right there at the end. So just everyone keeping themselves sane. You guys up here in the booth doing what you do. You could be doing anything on a Wednesday night. So a huge shout out to you. Huge shout out to the league admins, NASCAR Diecast fans, and yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. All right. There's your second place finisher, Zach Lindgren. And with that, we welcome to the booth your winner, Aiden Kirker. Aiden, congratulations. Heck of a race tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Boy, I don't really know. I didn't expect to have any shot tonight. I hate this track and I hate these cars.
Well, you hate it so much you won the race, and you on a challenging track and led 106 laps.
Yeah, we didn't qualify all that well. I didn't really feel too comfortable back in the field and even in practice. So once we had that caution with about 10 left in the stage, I figured to try something a little different and pit and see if we can get track position in clean air. Not to really win, but more so to just see if we can get a net gain. And then once the car was in clean air, it drove like, I'm gonna voice my displeasure to this car again. It drove like how a race car should drive, and not like a dump truck. So
brick. I was gonna say
a brick. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you.
Well, it was really your decision to pit 10 laps before the stage when that caution flew, and then to stay out when you were out of the stage points, but you made that decision. That was a masterful play.
Yeah, I mean, with these cars, it really brings the strategy out. Honestly, I don't want to sit there and be like, yeah, planned it all out. I'm gonna be completely honest, that was all luck. It was a
Well,
lucky guess.
we all need a little
But
luck
hey,
now and again. So
exactly, winning isn't always skill based. It's a lot of time it's luck. So yeah, I mean, we get to go home with the trophy or the guitar. I guess I got to pick up some lessons. So yeah.
well, that and also there was a point there that right around lap 98, 100, we were saying, man, you had gone in and pitted on lap 36. You're at the end of your fuel run. I don't know how much gas you had in the car. Our telemetry was saying you were nearly bone dry. J.R. Houston pitted the same time you did. He was out of gas on the apron, and then the caution flew.
Yeah, so I had 5 laps left in the tank when the caution came out. Just because of the clean air and stuff, and the way these cars are. Actually, I think they explained this in the Cup race on Sunday. Hamlin was doing it earlier in the race where he was lifting way early. I was kind of doing it at a similar point and using little to no brake, and the car wasn't losing speed. It was handling just fine. I was able to get back on the gas normally, so I was saving about a tenth of a gallon per lap. So I was able to extend that fuel run pretty good, and just having clean air was able to give me some comfort. So whenever I think it was Calvin was behind me, every time he'd get close enough, the dirty air would just smack him in the nose and
Wow.
it helped me just stay in front. So managing that gap and managing the fuel. So yeah, it was pretty close. But we were going to go to about lap 101, I think was what my number I was trying to pit at.
Well, congratulations on your win. I'm sure that's going to give a good. You started a little bit late with the series, but this is definitely going to be a good shot in the arm to get you some good points.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to get as much points as we can. Unfortunately, I'm going to be missing some races coming up due to TDY for work. But I'm going to try to be there for every race after that, and just try to give them hell. See if we can get a couple more wins.
Well, congratulations on your win. Any shout outs before we close out?
Yeah, I just want to thank Elite Motorsports. Been racing with these guys for a handful of years now, and it's just just a great group. They keep you running on the sim. Just a good group of guys, and couldn't ask for a better group of friends to race with. Want to thank Diecast fans. I want to thank Premier Racing Setups, and I want to. I realized I'm a terrible grandson, and I didn't send the link to my grandmother. So I would say thank you to her. Whoops, my bad.
Well, she can always watch it on replay.
Yeah. Thanks, Grandma. Sorry. I'll just tell her that I'm racing tomorrow night, and she'll watch it like it's live.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on Aiden Kirker, who's kind of in the doghouse with Grandma at the moment. We'll see you next week in Michigan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. All right. No, heck of a kind of what we expected here in Nashville.
Oh man, I think it was even better than what we expected. That was one of the greatest strategy calls I've seen right there. I mean, that took guts to go that long, and do what he did. So obviously a great finish there for Aiden Kirker. Even better win for Elite Motorsports. That's a huge win for that team and a really good finish there. But no, Nashville's always been kind of one of those tracks. But man, I enjoyed the heck out of that race. It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. A couple of shout outs to those drivers who were not in the on the podium, but were right up there. Calvin Allison finishing in 5th, Jared Wishon in 7th, but Sammy Harrell in 7th, and Chuck Van Scoyk in 8th. Those guys, they were back. Sammy Harrell was back, in 27th. Yeah. He picked up a ton of spots. So, well, next week we are at Michigan. That should be a blast. These cars. Really, I think that these cars really just are made for Michigan.
I think they are too. I think they're made for these kind of super speedway tracks. They put on some really good races in there. But Richmond is not a Michigan is not a super speedway. It's technically a speedway, but it is the biggest speedway, and it's so much fun to race there, to watch races there. I'm really looking forward to Michigan next week.
Absolutely. All right, so for Noah and myself, we thank you again for tuning in to our broadcast. Whether you watched it live or you watch it on replay, we thank you again for supporting our channel. We hope to see you next week at Michigan on Wednesday night. And if you are still loving what you're seeing, tune in tomorrow night for the INRS Racing Series. We will be at Michigan tomorrow night for the Firekeepers 200, I believe. All right, so for Noah and myself, good night, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.